Good morning, TikTok.
I would do it all again.
So, I did a video a few days ago entitled "It's a Scam." In that video, I talked about the FBI doing an investigation as to why the rents were so high. And so many of you had so much to say, I can't even keep up with the comments. The video talked about the FBI's investigation as to why the rents were so high. And in the investigation, I guess they found out that one of the corporate landlords was using, with the help of a computer software company, created a false rental inflation. And other corporate landlords went along with that model, and it created an inflation in America's rent. Now, in that video, I brought up race. I didn't go into great detail about it, but I did talk about race. And I said how it was that black and brown people in America have always been experiencing this issue. And then fragile white people got down into my comments and told me not to bring up race, as if they can dictate what I speak about on my platform. You're not being able to handle the truth about race is a you problem. It's not a me problem. It's not a black problem. It's not a brown problem. It's a you problem. And with that being said, there's only one thing for me to do. Double down. This is America, and America is racist, and race plays a part of everything in America. Race is in everything. And your ability to handle that truth, again, that's a you problem. The rental and housing market has always been unfair to black people in America. That's a fact. And the reason why that is because of your racism. It is because of the systems of white supremacy that were put into place by your ancestors to keep black people cast at the bottom. Facts. And the reason why you do not want black people bringing that up is because you are now getting caught in those traps. And you don't want to admit that it is your bad decisions that got us there. Or should I say you there with the rest of us. Like I said in another video, it is because you voted for whiteness instead of rightness that you are now here with us. We could have all had nice things. We could all have affordable rent right now. But you kept voting for anyone who wasn't white to not have access to the things that all Americans should have access to. And that includes affordable rent. You put the racist, moralist politicians into positions of power, into those positions that they did not really deserve. And while in those positions, lobbyists and corporations threw them bags of money, and they in turn threw Americans under the bus. Y'all did that. Black people didn't do that. And that's just the truth. Black people have been telling y'all that this is a class issue for a very long time. And now that the middle class has all but disappeared, you all are starting to believe us. And so you're getting down in my comments and you're saying things like, I'm white and my rent has always been high. That has not historically been so for white people in America, and that is a lie. The truth is, historically, as a white person, you have always had privilege in America, and that privilege has always bought you nice things. Until recently. And that's when the 1%, the people at the very top, started making it abundantly clear that yes, in fact, it was about class. About the haves versus the have-nots. And they used you and your racism in order to make it so. And that is the truth. And whether you want to deal with that truth or own that truth, I really could care less. Because when you get down in my comments, all I'm going to do is block you anyway. No one is going to have arguments with you about that. I know what I know. Black people know what we know. Now that you're experiencing some of the same pain and trauma that we've experienced in this nation, you think that we are your allies now. You think that we are all in this together. Again, we are not the same. We are not going to pretend like y'all didn't have a 400-year head start in this nation simply because you were white. And just because that 400-year head start isn't benefiting a lot of you anymore, doesn't mean that you get to come over here and tell us that it wasn't about race. It is about race. It was about race. Your racism laid the groundwork for this. That's just the truth. Feel your feelings. Until you admit that white supremacy is destroying the world, this country in particular, until you own that, face it, and deal with that, racism in and of itself will continue to be weaponized to keep all of us, you included now, poor, broke, destitute, overworked and underpaid, and economically enslaved in this nation. Y'all did that. Have the day you deserve.